Welcome back to Gale at Night. There's a heartbreaking and disturbing case of Genesis Nova Reid, a 2-year-old toddler from Enterprise, Alabama, whose disappearance shocked the community, and eventually it reveals something far darker than anyone expected. Let's walk through the timeline of what happened. On February 16, 2026, around 3:10 in the morning, police in Enterprise received a call from Genesis's mother, Adrienne Reid. She told officers that she had just discovered her toddler missing from her bed. According to her story, the front door of the apartment was open and Genesis had somehow disappeared during the night. Genesis lived with her mother in an apartment complex on Apache Drive. She was described as 2 feet 5 inches tall, around 25 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Police said she had last been seen wearing pink Mickey Mouse pajamas. As soon as the report came in, law enforcement launched a large search effort. Local police, state investigators, and federal agencies, including the Federal Bureau of Investigations, joined the effort to find the missing toddler. Search teams used cadaver dogs and combed through wooded areas near the apartment complex. But almost immediately, investigators began noticing problems with the story. Neighbors told police they had not seen Genesis for weeks. Some said they hadn't seen the little girl since early January. That raised serious concerns about when she had actually gone missing. As detectives continued interviewing the mother, they said they found multiple inconsistencies in her statements. Because of that, just one day after the child was reported missing, Adrienne Reid was arrested and charged with providing false information to law enforcement. Investigators also began looking for a woman known as Mariah, who the mother claimed might have information about Genesis's disappearance. However, police clarified that this woman was only a person of interest, not a suspect. Meanwhile, the community rallied around the search. Residents across parts of Alabama began putting pink lights outside their homes as a symbol of hope for Genesis' safe return. For days and weeks, investigators continued digging into the case. But as the investigation progressed, detectives uncovered evidence that completely changed the direction of the case. Police later revealed that surveillance footage showed something deeply disturbing. On Christmas night, December 25, 2025, at around 1:30 p.m., cameras captured Adrienne Reid walking toward the dumpster at her apartment complex with a rolling duffel bag. 2 days later, cameras allegedly showed her returning to that same dumpster and throwing away toys and other items believed to belong to Genesis. Investigators say this evidence led them to a horrifying conclusion. Authorities believe the toddler had actually been killed months earlier on Christmas Day, long before she was ever reported missing. According to police, Genesis's body was placed inside the duffel bag and thrown into the dumpster at the apartment complex. From there, the trash was picked up the next day and taken through multiple stages of waste processing before eventually ending up at the Coffee County landfill. Investigators say that makes the search extremely difficult because the trash would have been compacted several times along the way. Because of the evidence gathered in the investigation, Adrienne Reid was eventually charged with capital murder, along with providing false information to law enforcement and abuse of a corpse. Prosecutors say they plan to seek the death penalty in this case. Authorities also accuse her of carrying out what they described as a 53-day campaign of deception, reporting the child missing long after investigators believed Genesis had already died. As of now, Genesis' remains have still not been located, and investigators continue searching the landfill in hopes of bringing some form of closure to the case. This case has left the community devastated, not just because of the loss of a child, but because of the disturbing allegations surrounding the person who was supposed to protect her. And for many people following the story, the biggest question remains, what really happened on Christmas Day? Because until investigators recover more evidence, some details of Genesis Reid's final moments may never be fully known.
Breaking news. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bayla Walker.
And I'm Alexa Daly. Thank you for joining us for News 4 at 6. Genesis Reid's mother killed her daughter, then put her remains in a duffel bag and threw them into a dumpster.
That's the claims of police and prosecutors who charged Adrian Reid with capital murder and corpse abuse this afternoon. News 4's Jacqueline Lambert is in Enterprise, and Jacqueline, Adrian Reid had long been the suspect.
Yes, she certainly had been, and now she could be given the death penalty for the death of her daughter, Genesis. The announcement of those charges was a very bittersweet and somber moment, marking the end of this part of the investigation, but concluding that Genesis is in fact dead, although the search for her body continues.
It's a sad day in Coffee County. So we have been involved in this case since February 16th. I've had multiple investigators with this office, with them working and throughout this whole entire operation. And early on, I had a gut feeling this was where it went. So I had started initially calling and searching and filling, and we have contacts through the collection agencies that are really good friends of mine, and we started tracking this. So I initially went and got cadaver dogs and went to the landfill early on in this investigation. And at the beginning, they gave me we had about a 4 or 5 acre window. This landfill is over 100 acres of working space. But that does not deter us in any form or fashion. So as the investigation continued, we can proudly say that we've narrowed it down between 200 and 100 feet square.
Adrian Reid, as Chief said, has been formally charged with 1 count of capital murder for intentionally causing the death of a child under the age of 14, pursuant to Code of Alabama 13A 540 subsection A15. She has also been charged with 1 count of abuse of a corpse pursuant to Code Section 13A 1113. That is a Class C felony under the laws of the state of Alabama. She's now charged with a total of 3 felonies as a part of this investigation that began on February 16th. Capital murder under Alabama law is the intentional murder of someone with a legally recognized additional factor. In this case, subsection A15 is our additional factor, which is a victim under the age of 14. Genesis Reid was 2 years old. Abuse of a corpse is when a person knowingly treats a human corpse in a way that would outrage ordinary family sensibilities.
This is a very sad day for all of us, not just here in Enterprise, but across the country, our county, state, and beyond. I want to thank the law enforcement community and the many agencies who have worked so tirelessly on this case at every level. I am grateful for the support we have received from neighbors, friends, and people everywhere who have offered help, encouragement, and prayers. From the very start, our thoughts and our hearts have been with Genesis, and we have lifted up this little girl in our prayer. Now it is time to see that justice is done for her and to bring some measures of peace and closure to everyone.
So, important part of this, like the mayor and DA said, is this is a small fraction of the individuals in this community that reached out and helped us in the investigation. We have SBI with us, Aaliyah, my agency, Coffee County, the DA's office. So over the course of the past 21 days, this investigation involved approximately 8,000 combined working hours, with personnel often working 16 to 18 hours per day. Investigators have executed 37 search warrants, pursued 97 investigative leads with just our agency alone, and processed more than 5 terabytes of digital and physical evidence, with that number continuing to grow. Leads have taken investigators across multiple states, including Illinois, Texas, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and throughout Alabama. At any given time, more than 75 law enforcement officers from various agencies were directly involved in this case. We extend our sincere gratitude to the many agencies that provided unwavering support throughout this investigation.
As he stated, he continues to thank the people that had some sort of input, some helpful tip in this investigation in Enterprise and far beyond. He also said a thank you to the many law officers involved in this and that will continue to be involved in this as they continue to search for the toddler's body.
Before we end this video, I just want to take a moment to remember the real reason this story matters. A little girl named Genesis. Genesis Reid was only 2 years old. She should still be here growing up, playing, laughing, and living the life every child deserves. Cases like this are difficult to talk about, but they're important to bring attention to because every child deserves to be seen, heard, and remembered. My thoughts and deepest condolences go out to anyone who truly loves Genesis, the family members, friends, and members of the community who are grieving such a heartbreaking loss. And if nothing else, we can at least make sure that her name and her story are not forgotten. Rest in peace, Genesis. Thank you for watching, and if you believe in raising awareness for cases like this, feel free to share this video so more people know her story, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. This is Gail at Night. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for supporting. Be sure to click the like button and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and set the bell to all.